Australia is a pretty interesting place, filled with super unique animals and a type of English that a lot of English speakers can't quite understand.
What are you doing, mate? Like, you can't be leaving the scene. And he goes, don't be a hero, mate. And I said, I'm not trying to be a hero, but the police are coming. And he just decided he'd scoot up the road, and I just said, nah, it's not going on like that, mate. So I jumped in my car, and I started chasing him up the road.
I was born in Australia, and a lot of the cases mentioned in this iceberg are things I remember hearing about or being discussed as I grew up. But considering the majority of my viewers are not from Australia, most of these cases are probably new to you. I mean, most countries haven't had a prime minister go for a swim and never come back, and Australia's way of paying respect to his unique death is by naming a swimming pool after him. That's not a joke, by the way, that actually happened. If unaware of what an iceberg chart is, it is a list of things about a certain topic ranked from most well-known at the top of the iceberg to the most obscure at the bottom, which often results in much darker topics being discussed as we go down. I make videos like this frequently, so if you enjoy, please make sure to subscribe. Without further delay, let us begin. The enigmatic case of Melissa Caddick is a captivating blend of high-finance intrigue, white-collar crime, and a disappearance that has left Australia both baffled and fascinated. A glamorous and successful financial advisor vanishes without a trace, leaving behind a trail of financial ruin and unanswered questions. Melissa Caddick was no ordinary figure. With her impeccable style and reputation as a savvy investment guru, she commanded attention in Sydney's elite circles. Yet beneath the veneer of wealth and sophistication, a darker story was unfolding. In February 2021, authorities raided Caddick's luxurious home in Sydney's affluent eastern suburbs, suspecting her of running a Ponzi scheme that defrauded investors of millions of dollars. But when they arrived, Caddick was nowhere to be found. It was as if she had vanished into thin air, leaving behind only confusion and chaos. The mystery deepened as details of Caddick's alleged financial misdeeds emerged. Investors, many of whom were friends and family members, were left devastated and financially ruined by her schemes. Yet despite the mounting evidence against her, Caddick remained elusive, her whereabouts unknown. The case took a bizarre turn when a human foot washed ashore on a remote beach in New South Wales.
A remote stretch of sand on the far south coast, now the centre of a breakthrough in the state's most gripping missing persons case.
Last Sunday the 21st of February, a shoe was located on the shoreline of the Bordana National Park south of Tathra by campers. Within that shoe were the remains of a human foot.
For weeks, speculation ran rampant that the remains belonged to Caddick, fueling theories about her fate. Eventually, DNA testing confirmed the worst fears. The remains were indeed those of Melissa Caddick. Though this would usually prove that someone has died, many speculated that she had amputated herself to get the police off her trail for good. The mystery surrounding Caddick persists to this day. How did she manage to evade capture for so long? What drove her to defraud her clients and vanish without a trace? And perhaps most importantly, what happened in the final moments before her untimely demise? The Melissa Caddick case is a cautionary tale of greed, deception, and the enduring allure of the unknown. As Australia grapples with the aftermath of her disappearance, one thing is clear. The enigmatic figure of Melissa Caddick will continue to captivate and confound for years to come. The disappearance of William Tyrrell is a haunting enigma that has gripped Australia since September 12, 2014. A 3-year-old boy with blonde hair and bright blue eyes vanishes from his grandmother's home in Kendal, New South Wales, while playing in the front yard. A parent's worst nightmare unfolding in real time. The search for William Tyrrell quickly became one of the largest and most intensive in Australian history. Despite the efforts of hundreds of police officers, search teams, and volunteers combing through bushland, dense forests, and nearby properties, there was no sign of the little boy. It's as if he simply vanished into thin air, leaving behind only a trail of unanswered questions and heartbreak. He was wearing a Spider-Man outfit when he was last seen, so photos of him in it were what was circulated in the media. The mystery deepened when details about the circumstances surrounding William's disappearance emerged. Witnesses reported seeing a suspicious car parked near the house around the time he went missing, fueling speculation about possible abduction. Yet, despite countless leads and extensive investigations, there have been no significant breakthroughs in the case. What makes the William Tyrrell case particularly compelling is the emotional toll it has taken on the Australian public. The image of a young, innocent child snatched from his own backyard strikes at the core of our collective fears and vulnerabilities, serving as a reminder that even in our seemingly safe communities, darkness lurks just beyond the edges of our awareness. But surprisingly, the most recent updates to this case have focused on the foster family, rather than an abductor.
Now the officer leading the search for the missing 3-year-old has revealed he believes William's foster mother knows where his body is. The shock revelation coming as she faced unrelated charges.
Since William Tyrrell's disappearance 8 years ago, police have seized thousands of pieces of evidence, interviewed hundreds of people, and late last year said they were focusing on one suspect, his foster mother.
Did you want to say anything about the allegations said by police today?
Today, an insight into how detectives hoped she would crack. Listening devices had been placed inside the family home and inadvertently caught the foster mum allegedly assaulting another child in her care.
Years have passed since William Tyrrell vanished, but his story continues to haunt Australia. His face remains etched in the memories of millions, a poignant symbol of hope and tragedy intertwined. As the search for answers presses on, one thing is certain. Until William is found and the truth revealed, his mysterious disappearance will linger in the Australian psyche, a puzzle waiting to be solved. The Luna Park ghost train fire is a haunting chapter in Australian history, shrouded in mystery and speculation. A beloved amusement park attraction engulfed in flames, claiming the lives of 7 people, including children, on a winter's night in 1979. On a ghost train of all rides, truly turning fictional horrors into reality. This inexplicable tragedy has sparked countless theories and rumors over the decades. At the heart of the mystery lies the question, what caused the fire? Official investigations pointed to an electrical fault as the likely culprit, but doubts and suspicions lingered in the minds of many. Some believe the fire was deliberately set, a sinister act of arson caused by unknown motives. Rumors of underworld connections and foul play only added to the intrigue surrounding the case. One of the most tantalizing theories suggests a connection between the fire and organized crime. Luna Park, with its colorful history and vibrant atmosphere, was no stranger to the seedy underbelly of Sydney's criminal underworld. Some speculate that the fire was a targeted attack, a message sent by powerful figures operating in the shadows. Could it be that the tragedy was a result of a feud or dispute that spiraled out of control? Others point to the park's tumultuous past as a source of potential motives. Luna Park had seen its fair share of controversy and scandal over the years, including financial troubles and disputes with local authorities. Some believe that the fire was a desperate attempt to cover up wrongdoing or sabotage the park's operations for personal gain. Then there are those who believe that supernatural forces were at play, citing eerie occurrences and ghostly sightings in the aftermath of the fire. Photos of this horrifying character were seen across that day, but no one knows who they are, and they weren't seen again. Decades have passed since the Luna Park ghost train fire, yet the mystery endures. Despite multiple inquiries and investigations, the truth remains elusive, buried beneath layers of speculation and uncertainty. As the years go by, the tragic events of that fateful night continue to haunt the collective consciousness of Australia. A chilling reminder of the fragility of life and the enduring power of mystery. The Don Mackay mystery is a captivating tale of crime, intrigue, and the dark underbelly of Australian society. A charismatic and well-respected businessman disappears without a trace, leaving behind a trail of unanswered questions and speculation. Don Mackay was a prominent figure in the small town of Griffith, New South Wales, known for his successful fruit and vegetable business and active involvement in the community. But in 1977, his life took a sinister turn when he became embroiled in the shadowy world of drug trafficking. Mackay's involvement in exposing the local marijuana trade earned him enemies among powerful criminal syndicates operating in the region. Some speculate that his disappearance was a targeted act of retaliation, a warning to others who dared to defy the underworld's grip on the town. One theory suggests that Mackay was silenced to prevent him from further disrupting the lucrative drug trade. Rumors abound of his involvement in undercover investigations and his willingness to cooperate with law enforcement, making him a liability to those who profited from the illicit industry. Another theory posits that Mackay stumbled upon incriminating evidence or witnessed criminal activity that posed a threat to those involved. His sudden disappearance without a trace or any concrete leads has led some to believe that he was the victim of foul play, orchestrated by powerful figures with everything to lose. Despite extensive investigations and inquiries, including a coronial inquest in 1986 that declared Mackay deceased, his body has never been found, and no one has been charged in connection with his disappearance. The case remains one of Australia's most enduring mysteries, a chilling reminder of the dangers lurking beneath the surface of seemingly idyllic small towns. Decades have passed since Don Mackay vanished into the night, but his story continues to captivate and intrigue. As long as the mystery remains unsolved, the shadow of his disappearance will loom large over Griffith. The Tasmanian tiger, or thylacine, is one of Australia's most iconic creatures, with its distinctive tiger-like stripes and dog-like appearance. Imagine a carnivorous marsupial that roamed the dense forests of Tasmania, its haunting cry echoing through the night. But despite its fearsome reputation, the Tasmanian tiger met a tragic fate, becoming the subject of one of Australia's most enduring mysteries. The last known Tasmanian tiger died in captivity in 1936, marking the tragic end of a species once abundant across Tasmania and parts of mainland Australia. But in the decades since its extinction, tantalizing sightings and unverified reports have fueled speculation that the Tasmanian tiger may still roam the wilds of Tasmania. One theory suggests that the Tasmanian tiger never truly went extinct, and that small populations have managed to survive in the remote wilderness of Tasmania, evading detection and eluding capture. Sightings of mysterious large carnivores and unexplained footprints have only added to the intrigue surrounding the elusive creature. This is basically Australia's version of Bigfoot, but we have proof that it did exist at one point. Another theory posits that the Tasmanian tiger was deliberately hunted to extinction by European settlers who viewed it as a threat to livestock and a pest to be eradicated. While this theory is supported by historical evidence of bounties placed on thylacines and widespread persecution by farmers, it does not fully explain why the Tasmanian tiger disappeared from its natural habitat in Tasmania's remote wilderness. Then there are those who believe that the Tasmanian tiger may have been the victim of disease or habitat loss, factors exacerbated by human encroachment and environmental degradation. While this theory offers a more plausible explanation for the extinction of the Tasmanian tiger, it does little to quell the fascination and speculation surrounding the elusive creature. In recent years, efforts to search for evidence of the Tasmanian tiger's existence have intensified, with researchers using motion-sensing cameras and DNA analysis to search for signs of the elusive creature. While some tantalizing leads have emerged, conclusive proof of the Tasmanian tiger's survival remains elusive, leaving its fate shrouded in mystery and speculation. The Tasmanian tiger remains a symbol of Australia's unique and diverse wildlife. As the search for answers continues, the legend of the Tasmanian tiger lives on, captivating the imaginations of scientists, conservationists, and curious enthusiasts alike. The disappearance of the Beaumont Children is one of Australia's most chilling and enduring mysteries, a haunting tale that has captivated the nation for over half a century. On a scorching summer's day in 1966, 3 siblings, Jane, Arna, and Grant Beaumont, vanished without a trace from a beach in Adelaide, South Australia, sparking one of the largest and most extensive missing persons investigations in Australian history. Despite an exhaustive search involving thousands of volunteers, police resources, and countless leads, the children were never found, leaving behind a void that has never been filled. Speculation and theories surrounding the Beaumont children's disappearance abound, ranging from the plausible to the downright chilling. One theory suggests that the children were abducted by a stranger, lured away from the beach by promises of ice cream or a trip to the nearby amusement park. Witnesses reported seeing the children in the company of an unidentified man on the day they vanished, fueling speculation about their fate. Another theory posits that the children fell victim to a notorious serial killer or child predator operating in the area at the time. Adelaide was plagued by a series of unsolved disappearances and murders during the 1960s, leading some to believe that the Beaumont children may have been among the killer's victims. Yet, perhaps the most haunting theory is that the children were victims of a botched kidnapping gone awry, a tragic case of mistaken identity or a ransom scheme gone horribly wrong. Some speculate that the children may have been taken by someone known to them, or with ties to the family, adding a layer of complexity and betrayal to the mystery.
Over the years, people at the beach that day have assisted police.
Witnesses saw a man lying on a beach towel, looking at the children, and then later the children talking to this man and playing with him.
An identikit was created of that man who police say spoke to some of the witnesses.
Between about 11 a.m. and midday, the man approaches some of the witnesses, asking if they'd seen anyone playing with the children's clothes because some money had been stolen.
But investigations continued to reach dead ends. That is despite large-scale searches, many theories and countless suspects, both dead and alive.
I can say that in relation to all of those, we've done an enormous amount of work in the background, and not all of that work's been made public, but some of those people fit into the unresolved category.
Decades have passed since the Beaumont children vanished, but their story continues to haunt Australia. Despite numerous leads, false confessions, and potential suspects, the truth remains elusive. As the years go by, the Beaumont children remain frozen in time, forever young and forever lost. Their fate a haunting reminder of the fragility of life and the darkness that lurks just beyond the edge of our awareness.
Each layer down, the worse things get.
The case of Mr. Cruel is a chilling and perplexing mystery that gripped Australia in fear during the late 1980s and early 1990s. It's hard to imagine a masked predator prowling the suburbs of Melbourne, targeting young children in a series of brazen and meticulously planned attacks that terrorized the community, arguably resurging in notoriety online in modern times as the police caricature that exists for him is truly terrifying. Mr. Cruel earned his moniker through his cold and calculated methods, leaving behind a trail of trauma and devastation in his wake. His crimes included home invasions, assaults, and kidnappings, all perpetrated with a chilling level of precision and cruelty. Over his spree, he attacked 3 girls in the northern and eastern suburbs of Melbourne, Victoria in the late 1980s and early 1990s. He is also the prime suspect in the 1991 abduction and murder of a 4th girl. Speculation and theories about the identity of Mr. Cruel abound, with law enforcement agencies and armchair detectives alike poring over clues and potential suspects. Some believe that Mr. Cruel may have been a former teacher or someone with access to children, given his intimate knowledge of his victims' routines and vulnerabilities. Others speculate that Mr. Cruel may have been a loner or a transient, operating under the radar and leaving little trace of his activities. The meticulous planning and execution of his crimes suggest a level of intelligence and cunning that belies a disorganized or impulsive offender. One theory suggests that Mr. Cruel may have had ties to law enforcement or other positions of authority, allowing him to evade capture and manipulate the investigation to his advantage. The lack of progress in identifying and apprehending the perpetrator has fueled suspicions of a potential cover-up or conspiracy to protect someone with connections to the criminal underworld. Despite extensive investigations and public appeals for information, Mr. Cruel has never been apprehended, leaving the community of Melbourne living in fear of his return. the case remains one of Australia's most notorious unsolved mysteries, a chilling reminder of the darkness that lurks just beyond the safety of our own homes. The Sun newspaper gave the perpetrator the moniker of Mr. Cruel, after police described a serial home invasion rapist in November 1987 as super cool and super cruel. The name was adopted by the rest of the media. I'm not sure why, but this in particular annoyed me when I read it. I assume it was a different time, and by cool they meant sly or something, but damn, maybe pick a word other than cool to describe such a horrible person. As the years go by, the legend of Mr. Cruel continues to captivate and unsettle, inspiring countless theories and speculations about his identity and motives. Until the day he is caught and brought to justice, the shadow of Mr. Cruel will loom large over Australia. Charles Kingsford Smith was one of Australia's most celebrated aviators, known for his daring flights and record-breaking achievements during the early 20th century. But his mysterious disappearance in 1935 has left a legacy of intrigue and speculation that continues to captivate aviation enthusiasts and historians to this day. Kingsford Smith, along with his co-pilot Tommy Pethybridge, vanished while attempting to break the England to Australia speed record in their aircraft, the Lady Southern Cross. The flight had been fraught with challenges, including adverse weather conditions and mechanical issues, but Kingsford Smith was undeterred, determined to push the boundaries of aviation. Despite the best efforts of search teams and naval vessels, no trace of the aircraft or its occupants was ever found, leaving behind a legacy of mystery and speculation. One theory suggests that the Lady Southern Cross may have encountered mechanical failure or ran out of fuel, forcing Kingsford Smith to make an emergency landing at sea. Some speculate that the aircraft may have ditched successfully, allowing Kingsford Smith and Pethybridge to survive for a time before succumbing to the elements or being lost at sea. Another theory is that the Lady Southern Cross may have been brought down by adverse weather conditions or navigational errors, leading to a catastrophic crash that left no survivors. Despite the extensive search efforts, the remote and unforgiving nature of the Australian outback and surrounding oceans made it difficult to locate wreckage or recover bodies. Then there are those who believe that foul play may have been involved, suggesting that Kingsford Smith's high-profile status and involvement in international affairs may have made him a target for sabotage or assassination. While there is little evidence to support this theory, the mysterious circumstances surrounding his disappearance have fueled speculation about potential motives and suspects. Decades have passed since Charles Kingsford Smith vanished into the vast expanse, but his legacy lives on as a testament to the pioneering spirit of aviation and the enduring allure of the unknown. Although this one is still technically unsolved, I feel quite confident that he probably died during the flight, one way or another. The mystery surrounding former Prime Minister Malcolm Fraser's lost trousers in a seedy Memphis hotel in 1986 remains shrouded in uncertainty. When questioned about the incident, Fraser offered little explanation, simply stating, "There's nothing I can say," and expressing regret for ever setting foot in Memphis. Fraser had been in Memphis as a guest speaker at the Memphis Country Club, enjoying the city's famed blues scene on Beale Street and indulging in drinks at the luxurious Peabody Hotel. However, the next morning, he emerged in the lobby wrapped in a small towel, lamenting the loss of his belongings, including his $10,000 Rolex watch, passport, wallet containing $600 cash, and, of course, his trousers. In an interview with the Memphis Commercial Appeal, Fraser revealed that he chose not to report the robbery due to his busy schedule and the slim chance of recovering his items. He suspected foul play, believing that his drink may have been drugged, leading to a loss of balance he had never experienced before. Conspiracy theories abounded, with some speculating about Mossad's involvement due to Fraser's perceived interference with an Israeli arms deal with South Africa. However, a more plausible explanation emerged, suggesting that Fraser may have fallen victim to a notorious scam artist, a tall Texan blonde with a distinctive tattoo above her breast, who had targeted several wealthy businessmen in Memphis around the same time. Taman Shud case, often referred to as the Sommerton Man, is one of Australia's most enduring and perplexing mysteries, steeped in intrigue and conspiracy. In December 1948, the body of an unidentified man was discovered on Somerton Beach near Adelaide, South Australia. Clutched in his hand was a small piece of paper with the words Taman Shud printed on it, sparking a baffling investigation that has captivated the world for decades. The man's body showed no signs of violence or struggle, yet his death was surrounded by a web of unanswered questions and cryptic clues. Who was the mysterious man found on the beach, and what led to his untimely demise? One theory suggested that the Taman Shud case may be connected to espionage or covert operations. Some speculate that the unidentified man may have been a spy or intelligence agent involved in sensitive government activities, with his death covered up to protect national security interests. Others believe that the Taman Shud case may be linked to organized crime or illicit activities. The cryptic message found in the man's possession has led some to speculate that it may be a code or cipher related to criminal operations, adding a layer of mystery and intrigue to the investigation. Another theory suggests that the man may have been a victim of foul play, with his death staged to appear as a suicide or accident. The lack of identification and the mysterious circumstances surrounding the case have fueled suspicions of a potential cover-up or conspiracy to conceal the truth. Despite this entry making it onto the list as an unsolved mystery, recently, after more than 70 years, the Sommerton man has finally been identified. Derek Abbott analyzed the Sommerton man's DNA by utilizing hairs that were preserved during the creation of a plaster model of his face by authorities. Teaming up with renowned U.S. forensic expert Colleen Fitzpatrick, who specializes in cold cases, they collaborated to construct an extended family tree using the DNA. From a pool of 4,000 names, the duo narrowed their search down to a single individual, Carl Webb. They then located living relatives of this individual, employing their DNA to verify his identity. Professor Abbott described the process as a triangulation from two distinct and distant branches of the family tree. Reflecting on the discovery, he likened it to the sensation of scaling Mount Everest, a blend of elation at reaching the summit and weariness from the journey. As per Professor Abbott, Carl Webb was born in 1905 in a Melbourne suburb. He was the sixth child among his siblings and tied the knot with Dorothy Robertson, affectionately known as Doff Webb. According to the professor, it is likely that their marriage prompted his relocation to Adelaide. We have indications that he had separated from his spouse and she had relocated to South Australia. Thus, it is conceivable that he came to search for her, he revealed to the ABC. Dr. Fitzpatrick is now inclined to assist in unraveling the circumstances surrounding his demise. I would like to see the toxicology done, and I would like to find out what happened to Dorothy, she conveyed. So whilst we do now know the identity of the man, questions still remain.
A fucking VB long neck at 20 to 8 in the fucking morning.
I'm wondering that they might shoot.
Nick says he grabbed the gun, which turned out to be a fake, and threw it to the floor before a second manoeuvre.
I did my MMA around the head.
The Death of Pharlap, Australia's legendary racehorse, is a mystery that has captured the imagination of people around the world for decades. In 1932, just days after winning the Agua Caliente handicap in Mexico, Pharlap fell ill and died suddenly under mysterious circumstances. His untimely death sent shockwaves through the racing community and sparked a frenzy of speculation and conspiracy theories. One theory suggests that Pharlap was poisoned, possibly as a result of foul play orchestrated by gambling syndicates or rival owners threatened by his dominance on the racetrack. Pharlap had become a national icon in Australia, and his sudden demise fueled suspicions of sabotage or foul play aimed at eliminating a formidable competitor. Another theory posits that Pharlap may have succumbed to an accidental overdose of a performance-enhancing drug or medication administered by his handlers. In the 1930s, the use of drugs and stimulants in horse racing was not uncommon, and some believe that Pharlap's trainers may have pushed the boundaries in their quest for victory. Yet perhaps the most intriguing theory is that Pharlap was the victim of a targeted assassination plot orchestrated by underworld figures or shadowy interests threatened by his success. The circumstances surrounding his death, including the sudden onset of illness and the lack of a clear cause of death, have fueled speculation about potential motives and suspects. Despite numerous investigations and inquiries, the true cause of Pharlap's death remains shrouded in mystery. Some believe that the truth may never be known, lost to the passage of time and the complexities of a bygone era. Yet the legend of Pharlap lives on, immortalized in the hearts and minds of racing enthusiasts and admirers around the world. The shark arm case is one of Australia's most bizarre and captivating mysteries, a true life tale that seems straight out of a crime novel. In April 1935, a captured shark at the Coogee Aquarium in Sydney regurgitated a human arm, sparking a macabre investigation that would uncover a tangled web of crime, deception, and intrigue. The discovery of the human arm inside the belly of a captured tiger shark sent shockwaves through the community, raising questions about the identity of the victim and the circumstances surrounding their demise. As authorities delved deeper into the case, they uncovered a series of startling revelations that would capture the public's imagination for decades to come. One theory suggests that the shark arm case may be linked to the world of organized crime, with the victim potentially meeting a grisly end as a result of their involvement in illicit activities. Some speculate that the victim may have been a gangster or criminal associate who fell afoul of their associates, leading to their untimely demise and disposal in such a gruesome manner. Another theory suggests that the arm may have belonged to a victim of a botched kidnapping or extortion attempt gone wrong, with their body disposed of in a bid to cover up the crime. The mysterious circumstances surrounding the case, including the lack of a clear motive or suspect, have fueled speculation about potential scenarios that may have led to the victim's demise. Yet, perhaps the most intriguing aspect of the shark arm case is the identity of the victim themselves. Despite extensive investigations and inquiries, authorities were never able to conclusively identify the individual whose arm was found inside the shark. The lack of a definitive answer has only added to the mystique and allure of the case, leaving it shrouded in mystery and speculation. Decades have passed since the shark arm case first captured the public's imagination, yet the mystery remains unsolved. As long as the identity of the victim and the circumstances surrounding their demise remain unknown, the shark arm case will continue to fascinate and intrigue the Australian public. Thanks so much for watching part 1 of this iceberg. If the next parts are available, I will put a link for them on screen. Please make sure to subscribe, and until next time, keep fearing the living.